Now come on, we've all been there. You're just trying to enjoy a game, but your lane partner is 0 and 5 and already blaming the jungler for not helping. The chat is non-stop waterfall of toxicity. The air is so thick with question mark pings, you feel like your skin is on fire. You love the strategy, the team fights, the 5D chess matches of the draft, the pure thrill of a plan coming together. But man, you're just tired of dealing with, people. What if you could get all of that strategic goodness, the drafting, the team building, the hype plays, without any of the multiplayer baggage? That's the promise of Esport Godfather. And in this review, I'm going to show you why playing a MOBA is finally fun again. Precisely because you're the one in charge. And this isn't just another management sim, it's a sanctuary for a strategic MOBA fan who's just had enough. Now, as someone with thousands of hours in games like Dota 2, the idea of managing an esports team has always been a fantasy of mine. I've spent years imagining what it's like to be on the other side of the screen, not as the player with shaky hands trying to land a skill shot, but as the coach, the architect, the mind behind the machine, the Grey Cardinal calling the shots, crafting the grand strategy and molding a team of talented players into a world-class unit that just prints money and sponsorship deals. But most management games feel so abstract. They give you spreadsheets and numbers, but they miss the soul of the game itself, those split-second decisions that define a MOBA game. Esport Godfather just gets it. It's a game that understands the real appeal isn't just about clicking faster than the other guy. It's about knowledge, the foresight, and adapting on the fly. This is a brilliant mix of deep management sim and a tactical deck building card game, all wrapped up in the hype of pro esports. It hands you the keys to a whole organization and just goes, alright, now show us what you got. And you're not just a manager, you're the coach, the shot caller, you're the godfather. And your goal is simple, build a dynasty from the ground up and lead your team to a world championship. This is your journey from underdog internet cafe team to the international legend. And the only teammate you have to rely on is you. Alright, so what exactly is Esport Godfather? Well, it combines esports management, deck building card battles, and the strategic depth of pro MOBA play into something totally unique. Think of it like one part is Football Manager, one part is Slay the Spire, and the other part is the analytical breakdown you'd see on a pro MOBA broadcast. You play as a coach starting a new esports team from scratch. And when I say from scratch, I mean you're responsible for everything. You have to scout for new talent, recruit players with unique skills, design their training schedules, and even manage their morale. But where the game really clicks is during the matches. You don't directly control the heroes on the battlefield, instead you command your team using a deck of cards. These cards can be anything from a player's signature move to a high-level command like gank this lane or farm jungle. The matches play out turn by turn, where you spend strategy points to play these cards and steer the game in your favor. It's an amazing system that turns the real-time chaos of a team fight into a smart, tactical, turn-based encounter. This game is for the thinkers, the planners, and anyone who's ever watched a pro match and thought, I would have drafted better, or why aren't they initiating the group fight? Well, here's your chance to prove it. Your journey in Esport Godfather doesn't start on the world stage though. It starts in the quiet, tense off-season. This is where you lay the foundation for your future empire, and the game's management systems really start to flex their muscles. But first things first, you need a team. You start with a tight budget and a pool of hopeful players, each one a puzzle of potential and risk. The scouting screen is your playground. Every player has a detailed profile showing their raw stats in 5 key areas: offense, defense, mechanics, reflex, and farming. These stats directly impact how they play. A bot lane carry might need high defense to survive laning phase and solid farming to become a late game monster, while a mid laner probably just wants raw offense to bully their opponent. But it's not just about the numbers. Every player also has a unique match trait, a passive skill that can give you a huge edge. One player might have a special trait that lets them search for a specific card they need, while another might be excellent at farming the jungle. These traits add a ton of personality and strategic depth. Do you pick the player with slightly lower stats but a game-changing trait, or do you bet on the raw mechanical god and hope you can teach them the rest? On top of that, every player has a hero pool. Just like in real MOBAs, players are good at a specific set of heroes. Someone might be a master of magical hero archetype, making them a specialist in those, while another might play 10 different heroes, making them a super flexible pick. When you're just starting, that hero pool is one of the most important things to look at, since it dictates your strategy for a long time. You're not just hiring 5 randoms, you're piecing together a team that clicks, and this game makes that whole process feel super important and engaging.
Normally.
Once you've scouted your talents, you have to actually recruit them by managing contracts and convincing them to join your team. But getting them to sign is just the first step. The real work happens in the training room. The training system here is surprisingly deep and is the key to your team's long-term growth. You get a set amount of training points to spend, and you can use them a few different ways. You can set up training courses to improve specific skills over time, or you can spend those directly to give a player's stat a quick boost. The cool part is that it's not just one-size-fits-all kind of deal. Different players have different aptitudes. Your mid laner might gain 8 points in offense from a session, while your jungler only gets 5 from the same one. It forces you to make some tough calls about where to put your resources. And you also have to manage their hero mastery. The more a player uses a hero, the better they get, which can level up that hero's ability cards and grant powerful bonuses. This creates this awesome loop where you're balancing between training a player's base stats and just letting them get reps on their favorite heroes. Seeing a player you scouted as a rookie with so-so stats turn into a superstar with an unstoppable signature hero is one of the most satisfying feelings in this game. Just don't let your enemy team ban it. You even manage team morale and fan engagement through a little chat interface here. Your choices in conversations can build team chemistry or cause drama. Winning matches gets you more fans, which brings its own set of rewards and pressures. It all comes together to create a living, breathing world of competitive gaming that makes you feel totally immersed. You're not just crunching numbers, you're nurturing talent, managing personalities, and building a brand.
Wait for it! Wait for it!
Okay, now, this is it. All your planning, scouting, and training leads to this. Match day. This is where Esport Godfather pulls off its coolest trick, turning the high-speed 10-player chaos of a MOBA into strategic turn-based single-player experience that's just as exciting. And any MOBA veteran knows that a match can be won or lost before it even starts. The pick-ban phase in this game is a perfect recreation of that strategic chess match. You and your opponent take turns banning heroes from a pool of over 50, then pick your lineup. This phase is mind games incarnate. First, you analyze your opponent. You can see which heroes their players are best with, and a smart ban can completely dismantle their whole game plan. If their star mid laner has a 90% win rate on some pusher, you better believe that hero is your first ban. Then you start picking. You have to build a team that actually works together, balancing tanks, melee, magical and ranged heroes together. Do you grab a hero that combos with your team's traits? Do you try to counterpick what enemy is doing? Maybe you see that they don't have a strong frontline, so you pivot to a dive-heavy team to punish them. And even better, if you know the opponent wants a hero that your player can also use, you can steal that pick, taking away their comfort choice and using it against them. This game also throws in version rules that shift the meta, so a strategy that crushed it last season might be useless next time.
See you later, nerds!
Once the game starts, you're executing your strategy through your deck of cards. The match is simulated in rounds. The first few turns are the laning phase, where your players automatically farm and trade blows. During this time, you build up your main resource, strategy points, which work a lot like mana in other card games. Once you have enough points, 8 to be precise, it's go time. You enter the deployment phase, and now you can play cards straight from your hand to make things happen. These cards are the heart of the game. Some are tied to your specific athletes, reflecting a personal skill, others are default hero cards, which are the abilities of the champions they're playing. A card might tell your jungler to gank the top lane, order your team to group up and push a tower, or unleash a devastating ultimate in a teamfight. The real strategy is knowing how and when to use these cards. Do you spend your points early for a lead in one lane, or do you save up for a huge decisive teamfight over an objective? Because it's turn-based, you can actually pause and think. You can look at the map, check health bars and see what's on cooldown without the pressure of having to react in milliseconds. It's a pure test of strategy. You might play a card to have your support heal your carry to initiate a fight. In response, you can play a retreat card for your player, followed by a counter gank card to bring in your jungler and turn the fight around. It perfectly captures the flow of a real MOBA. The pushes and pulls, the baits and ambushes, but in a way that rewards careful planning over the twitch reflexes of a 15-year-old. Oh, and this deck you're playing with? It's not random, you build it yourself. This is the other half of the game's strategic core. Your deck is a mix of cards from your athletes and the ability cards from the heroes they pick. As you train your players and they master their heroes, those cards can be leveled up, unlocking new effects or making them cheaper to play. This adds another awesome layer to the management side. A hero might have a game-winning ultimate that costs a ton of points. Through training though, you might be able to lower that cost, making it a much more reliable tool. And this also makes you think about synergy. Some cards let you draw more cards, helping you find your key abilities faster. Some hero combinations create powerful card combos. Discovering these combos and building your team and hero pools around them is so rewarding and satisfying. Oh my god. It's not about having one single best card. It's about building a deck where every card works together as part of your master plan. It's an addictive loop that perfectly blends long-term planning with split-second tactical calls. The most satisfying part of the game is watching your players grow from rookies into stars, of course. I once had a mid laner who was mediocre across the board, but when I finally unlocked their legendary status on this burst damage mage hero, they became completely unstoppable. Until the next patch nerfed that entire archetype and I had to rebuild my whole strategy from scratch. At the same time, their mastery over their heroes gets deeper. As a hero gets played more, they can unlock better versions of their ability cards or even get brand new ones which can totally change how they're played. A player might become so good with one hero that they reach legendary status, as I mentioned before, making them almost unbeatable on that pick. And as the coach, you have to decide. Do you let your star player one-trick their legendary hero, or do you force them to learn new things to be less predictable, even if it hurts you in the short term? These are the kinds of choices that make your career feel like your own.
You're a goddamn hero!
And as I mentioned, to make sure things never get stale, the game has a brilliant system of version updates. As the name implies, at the end of a season, a patch might drop that buffs weak heroes and nerfs strong ones, completely shaking up the meta. New items and new heroes might get added that favor a totally different playstyle. All of a sudden, the tanky teams that won you the championship last year are getting run over, and you have to adapt to a new, faster meta focused on gankers, for example. The game can also change major rules, like how much gold the jungle gives, how strong towers are, that kind of thing. This forces you to be a dynamic coach who's always learning and always innovating. You can't just find one OP strategy and spam it forever. This system perfectly mimics what's it like to play a real life service game like League or Dota 2, where the game is always changing. It keeps the challenge fresh, season after season.
They're all dead!
Alrighty then, let's break it all down. After putting way too much time into this game, building teams and seeing them through triumph and failure, here's my take on Esport Godfather. First off, the deep strategic gameplay is the star of the show. The mix of big picture management and turn-based card tactics is just brilliant. It perfectly captures the strategic mind of a MOBA in a way that anyone can enjoy, no matter how good or bad their reflexes are. You get all the fun of outdrafting and outsmarting your opponent without any of the stress, toxicity or low priority cesspools. Secondly, the replayability is huge, and I mean huge. With the meta always changing, a deep player progression system and a ton of heroes and strategies to try, this is a game that's meant to be played over and over. Every new career is a fresh puzzle to solve, which is the mark of a great management sim. And finally, it totally delivers on its promise. It's the ultimate esports coaching fantasy. The level of detail, from scouting players to managing their morale and adapting to patches, it's all incredibly immersive. Seeing a team you built from nothing lift the World Championship trophy is a special kind of satisfaction. Now, no game is perfect. The biggest thing for new players will be a steep learning curve. Just like a real MOBA, there's a lot to learn at the start. Figuring out player stats, hero synergies, card defects, and just the general flow of a match takes time. So take your time. The game has an assistant to help you, but get ready to feel a little lost in your first season or two. Also, it's worth noting that this is not a traditional deck builder like Slay the Spire. Deck building is a huge part of the game, but it's tied directly to your players and heroes. Your card pool is decided by your team, not the other way around. And that's not a bad thing necessarily, but it's good to know if you're coming here and expecting a pure card game. Lastly, while the UI is clean and functional, the game does indeed use AI-generated art for things like the character portraits. This can sometimes make the characters feel a bit generic or lacking personality, but it's a small indie game thing that doesn't impact the incredible gameplay. But fair warning if authentic visuals matter a lot to you.
Patience from Zoe.
Now, who should play Esport Godfather? If you're a fan of MOBAs like League or Dota 2, but you're just over the toxic teammates, the stress of the ranked grind, and needing insane reflexes, this game is absolute must-play for you. Esport Godfather takes the best part of the genre, the deep strategy and theory crafting, and strips away all the frustrating parts of playing online. Furthermore, it lets you engage with the game you love on a purely strategic level. My 400 APM days are long behind me, but my brain still works, so it's a perfect fit for me. I mean, again, imagine Dota or League without toxicity and requirement to have 4 equally quick arms to play like Invoker properly. It's great. And if you're a fan of deep management sims and you're looking for a fresh new world to dive into, this is it, my friend. The team building and player development is top-notch, and the card-based matches are way more engaging than just watching text scroll by. Esport Godfather is a true hidden gem. It's smart, it's addictive, and it's so rewarding when a plan comes together. It successfully carves out its own little niche by mixing genres in a way I've never seen before. This game really understands what makes competitive gaming so special and delivers a single-player experience that honors that spirit completely. It is, without a doubt, one of the most innovative strategy games I've played in a long time. So, that was my take. But I want to know what you think. Have you played this game already or not? Are you a MOBA vet looking for a new way to get your fix without randos flaming in 3 different languages? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, please. Oh, and if you enjoyed this review, do me a solid and hit that like button, subscribe for more stuff like this, and ring that bell so that you won't miss the next one, okay? Thanks for watching. And I'll see you on the stage, champ.